Ad copy for Google Ads is a core foundation for success. In fact, in a world of ChatGPT and lazy marketers, it's a really good opportunity to stand out, because an overwhelming theme that I see when we're going through and reviewing Google Ads accounts is people who just don't spend a lot of time on ad copy. They just throw in some keyword focus and then hope that Google Ads can write the best ad copy. So please take the time when it comes to writing your ad copy to really go through that full process, because remember, with ad copy it's people seeing your ad, and it's that last opportunity for you to really compel them to click on your ad as opposed to your competitor's ad. So in this video, I want to take you through the 4 core elements that should be in every single ad that you write for Google Ads, and also take you through the framework of how we come up and write ad copy that gets above industry standard click-through ratios and better conversion metrics. And then what I will also do is I'll also let you know how we structure our ads and how we get that right balance between keyword focus, including your brand in there, and then also having those other core elements. I just want to say, if we haven't met yet, my name's Aaron from Define Digital Academy, and this video which you're watching is part of my annual series which I released this year. It's a 15-part video series, and it's called Get Google Ready for 2026. And if you want to make sure that you stay 100% up to date with everything that is happening inside of Google Ads, make sure that you not only subscribe, but you also turn on that notification bell so you never miss when we release a new video. And to help you even further with your Google Ads, I want to give you access to my Google Ads optimization checklist, but I'm also going to be throwing in an extra great deal of value, including my Google Ads optimized course, which usually sells for $49 and has had over 2,500 people buy this course. So if you want to get access to that to really help you with your Google Ads campaigns in 2026, I want you to follow that link in the description below. But with all of that said, let's get straight into the teaching where we can break down how you can write better ad copy for your business in 2026. All right, so the first thing that we do really need to break down is that you need to have 4 core things inside of every single Google ad. The first one is that you need to have a keyword focus. Now, it is really important. As I said, one of my pet peeves is that you see ads that only have a keyword focus. So you don't want to just stuff different keyword focuses, but you do want to make sure that you've got that keyword focus. The reason why that's so important is because if someone is searching for that keyword, it really gives them that confidence or that extra ability to know that they can click on your ad if they see that keyword in your ad copy. Secondly, where possible, include your brand. Paying for the clicks, it makes sense to have your brand name in there. But these are the 2 core elements that people miss. You need to have a good call to action, and not just a weak call to action like buy here or book now or inquire now. And then fourthly, and this is the one that most people miss, is that you need to have a really good emotional trigger. You want to give people a reason to click on your ad as opposed to your competitors' ads. The way that I like to frame this, and when we're working with businesses, what we want to say to you is the way that we communicate this is that your ads should say something that your competitors can't or won't say. You want your ads to be unique, remembering where they're getting seen. When it comes to Google Ads, you cannot change the font color. You can't change the font size, especially with search campaigns. You're really just relying on your words. So please make sure that you really take that time to really get some unique messaging out there in the market, which is going to drive that click. And let me show you some real examples of what I mean. When we're working with clients and with businesses, these are the frameworks that we should take them through in order to help them get better click-through ratios and obviously better conversion rates and ultimately better performing ads. And this is the first thing you really need to remember. And for some reason in Google Ads, people kind of forget this, is that people don't buy products and services, they buy stories. Most Google Ads fail for one simple reason, is that they look and sound like everyone else. As I've said to you, my pet peeve is go into a Google Ads account, they say, we're getting poor results. And when I go through and have a look at the ad copy, it's just boring, like ad copy, just keyword focus after keyword focus with a really non-compelling call to action. Basically, if you can see one message from here, stop writing boring ads. So the first thing I want you to really think about is, in order to help your ads stand out, you need to use objective facts. So instead of fluff, never say that you're the best or you're the number one. It means nothing unless you can prove it. If you are number one and you've got an award for it, or that is an actual fact, yes, please say that in the ad. But rather than just saying, being lazy, or we're number one or we're the best, highlight real and verifiable differences. Let's go with the word differences. Another part of this is avoid generic statements. The other thing that I see a big mistake is people just say save now. Rather than saying save now, I always say to businesses, you need to be using a percentage or a dollar value. So if you've got a service and you save your businesses and you're proven to save businesses up to 39% on operating costs, what sounds better? Save now or our clients save on average 39%. Put a dollar value or percentage value in there and it just has a lot stronger messaging inside of Google Ads. Now let's get to the next part. Say something your competitors can't say or won't say. And this is where you just start to get a little bit creative. Now, for me, the way that I do this, I've got a notebook. It sits on my desk right here. And I'll go through and just write a whole heap of different ad headlines. And the reality is that 90% of them never see the light of day. When I'm getting into the ad copy creative part of it, I take a good half an hour, 45 minutes out of my day and really just start writing a whole heap of different headlines. And that's what I find for me is more creative. Now, you don't need to do it in a book. If you don't want to be old school like me, you could do it on your laptop, whatever the situation is, but you just want to say something that competitors can't say or won't say. So don't just focus on keywords, use a strong call to action and emotional triggers to make your ads stand out. The way I want you to think about it is Google likes keyword focus. Now, the reason why keyword focus is important because it helps your ads with ad relevancy and the users see, hey, look, I searched this term and I'm seeing that in the ad copy. It gives them the confidence to click on their ad. But what customers like, that strong call to action, what benefit do they get? Give them a reason to click on your ad. And then also those emotional triggers, curiosity, amusement, laughter. Can you drive that emotion in order to get that action? And then you want to get creative with your words. So I learned this really, really early in my Google Ads career. We've been running Google Ads since 2010. First campaign was for a villa resort in Bali, and everyone was saying private pool villas or one bedroom pool villas. Pretty boring stuff, hey? No real emotion in there. Now, it's true. That's what the product is marketing. But what we did was we said, why don't you skinny dip in your own pool? Saying the same thing, we're just saying it in a different way. And I want you to think about it when you see this ad in through here, seeing that you can skinny dip in your own pool, it drives that curiosity and it really drives that emotion and it gives them a reason to click on your ad. So what I want you to think about is that how can you write things in a different way that is going to stand out? Because remembering everyone has the ad that looks the same. So you've really got to use your words to be the creative edge. Now let's just go through what you can actually achieve with better ads. And I want to show you for this business, we removed generic statements about saving money and added in that real and also dollar saving. This is for a foot doctor or a podiatrist, sorry. So what we added is that we purely just added in 65% and that they saved $40. So they had save now, they didn't have a dollar value on it, didn't have percentage value on it. And I want to show you that changing the ad copy saw a 128% increase in their click-through ratio. So we took it from a 4.86 up to an 8.85, and that was between May and September. So it doesn't take much in order to see really great results with your ad copy. All right, so now let's talk about how we structure in our search campaigns. So with search campaigns inside of Google Ads, you can put up to 15 different headlines. What I like to use is I like to use the 30% rule. Generally what we would have is that we would have 5 headlines. It could be sometimes 3, sometimes 5, but 30% of your headlines which are really, really focused on your keyword focus and your brand name. You could have a combination of the two inside of it, and also if you wanted to, you may want to use dynamic keyword insertion. So 30% for keyword focus and your brand name. Then you want to have another 30%, which is your call to actions. And what you want to be doing here is testing some different call to actions. Does a call to action work better when I put a percentage saving in there? Does it work better when I put a dollar saving in there? Does the call to action work if I add some personalization? So rather than just saying call now, it might be, call John now, or whatever that situation may be. And then finally, the third 30%, that third level is for those emotional triggers. This is where you look to get really, really creative and write something in a different way that your competitors can't say or won't say. So if you just think about that 30% rule, so 30% on keyword focus and brand focus, 30% on your call to actions, and then 30% on your emotional triggers. Thank you for joining me. My name is Aaron Young from Define Digital Academy. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure having you here. And if you want to always stay up to date with your Google Ads, make sure you don't only subscribe, but turn on the notification bell. And if you also like to read your different updates about Google Ads, if you go into the description in this video, you'll actually see where you can subscribe to my newsletter, which is a newsletter we send out every single Monday so that you can get all the latest updates with Google Ads. Remember, this video is part of a playlist. And if you want to see the full playlist, I want you to go through and watch this playlist right here. See you next time.